Indian news ma wakɔ aba assign the ba wɔn kasa fidie so bio. Na maka trust before anything else na just a share na ebiem nso kwa na wo subscribe to your channel no. What's the political news there? Never governance. We catch you sa pani put for ma yet. Na pani to for ma yet there. Ani na nsɛm foforɔ bi nso asan esi. Benim sɛ what the nsɛm ade bɛn na ya na ya wote na ya wɔhɔ na ya wɔfɛ nso so. Nti no nsɛm foforɔ bi asi a India news yan so pani yɛ tɔ for me baabi yɛ ti nyinaa akyi no yɛ nsa atumi aka bi na yaso nso atumi ate saa nsɛm bi. Yɛntie nsɛm mmra sisi a na mpanimfoɔ mpo sɛ kakom no yɛgye no kɔkɔɔ anum. The ba before that no subscribe to your channel no. Sabaka all other news ɛfa politics one the opposite what tie no ɛho. Etie ba ebe ba bia susu anso person de body no fa na de asie bia no so fa comment anso to asie na yenkenkan informaw de ready na emeko yentie nsɛm mmra sisi a wotie no fa comment to asie ba de emfa nkyemu no so ento aso yentie mmra.
As a 7:38 flyer ne bae. That is when the flyer came. That's when the flyer came. Maybe that around 10:39, 10:50. And then who's another flyer ba say yeah giant. Martin people guarantee interview na do the assume. Sorry, you know, osha time no guarantee interview no around 11 to 12 a.m. No guarantee interview no. Ninkuro boy no so call ye. Onye bone or guarantee interview any so mu sorry free because always be down yes a video and yes a photocopy any ade ano mo ye video wie. Okoye no ana soja ne bi kan say wo ye Jimmy for pa. Wo ye Jimmy for na mate people so no so na no e no so capture so you are stupid. And a cover issue by a chain. Na Sameda Aquasama or can also be so a Martin Pebuchia or Mocheno. No. And your allegation, the Akobo West, we do no Muchino and then to Mocheno any.
Fortunately, Sami Daku, who is Director of Communications and Strategy at the Office of the Special Prosecutor, joins us on the phone to also tell us what transpired. Sami, good morning and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Winston.
Great. So, Sami, this morning we've spoken to Martin Kpebu. He's told us what happened leading to his arrest. He's told us how he got in there and a soldier insulted him. He insulted back. What happened?
Okay, thank you very much and to your listeners. First of all, let's make some clarity here. Martin Kpebu has made specific allegations of corruption against the SP and the OSP. When a lawyer makes an allegation, the lawyer will typically back it with evidence. But this is an allegation made by a lawyer with no shred of evidence. And all he does is to repeatedly make the allegation with the help of media every time. And as a nation, we've not taken our time to even question him on the basis of his allegation, what evidence he has. The laws are very clear. If you think that you have evidence of corruption against the SP or the agency called the OSP, there's a lay-down procedure you go through. And every time he comes on your platforms and he will tell you he's putting it together. To me, does he want to use 1 year to put together allegations against the SP? Then why don't you wait? When you've been able to put together your evidence, then you can come on air and make the allegations, or you submit it to the various institutions that could look into it. But just to come on radio every day, repeat allegations, insult the person of the SP, denigrate the integrity of the office, and the same people are expecting the office you are denigrating to work on an extradition for Kenoforiata. You are dragging the institution down with no evidence. People are listening. And at the end of the day, the bad guys are the ones who are very happy. So the OSP, as the primary agency that investigates corruption in this country, decided that let's go into it. Maybe he has some evidence. So a fact-finding committee was set up to go into it. So that's the long and short of the matter. However, he has refused to cooperate. But anytime he comes to the office, he comes with a number of media persons because he's a showman and wanting to do his show. But that is not the problem. It's after when he leaves the office, he goes, and the things he says are contrary to what he says. For instance, you come and say he's cooperating in the office, he's doing this, but he does not. Where in this country can you go to NIB, go to police, and tell them, I don't like this officer, I don't want the officer to sit, to be the one interview me? Hey, who gets that privilege? But at the OSP, we have tolerated all these conduct. He will say, I don't like this officer to be in it. The OSP will change it because we are doing a fact finding. Maybe he has evidence against the SP that will help to remove the SP. That's good. That's if the SP is corrupt. But we do this for you. The next time you come, you say these officers are junior colleagues. I won't talk to them, blah, blah. Meanwhile, the officers talking to you are equivalent in rank to deputy commissioners of police. They are not small boys. You talk anyhow to them, you misbehave in front of them, they give you all the cordiality, and you say you answer, they say, okay. Now, eventually, your last trick is that you want the OSP board to rather be the ones doing this interview, when you know perfectly that there's no OSP board presently. So you can see from the pattern that this is a person who is just bent on denigrating the office, bringing the reputation of the SP to disrepute and all that. Then last minute he comes to the office and he extends all these things to officers who are lawfully performing their duties. So if you go to Ghana Police, if you go to NIB, and the officers in charge, men in uniform with guns, directing you to do something, and even if you won't do it, you have to do it respectfully, even as a lawyer, just for the sake of the profession. But you don't do that. You rather hurl insults at them and display an unruly behavior towards the men. If not that these men have been well trained to hold themselves up and to ensure that they do not ever allow any person to have a cause to say the person has been assaulted or done anything. It should have been a different thing altogether. But I want to congratulate these officers for holding themselves and still insisting that he goes through the right procedure and processes. And when you do that in any law enforcement agency, you'll be placed under arrest. So we have to separate his arrest from the fact-finding work that he has refused to cooperate with the OSP. That is different from what happened yesterday. What happened yesterday is because he had obstructed officers from performing their lawful duty. Men in uniform, he did that. And I'm saying that if you do that in any law enforcement agency, you'll be placed under arrest.
Okay.
Even when somebody comes to Joy of Matthew Founders and start hurling insults at your security man and misbehaving or really behavior, if you have a security man who is well trained, they will place the person under arrest and hand him over to the authority, because Joy won't have the power of, say, police. So if you're asking me, this is the whole idea. But again, because of this coordinated attacks, wanting to bring the office into disrepute, because the office has been biting and biting hard. But let me tell you something. Anytime you find, we know corruption fights back, but anytime you find consistent, coordinated attacks on an office like the USP, it is not the office that they are attacking. It is the people of Ghana they are attacking, because we are in the midst of many investigations, seizing millions of assets, asking people who have taken so much money from the Republic to return it. And it's biting hard. And we don't think that such people will not put up a fight. And so the bad guys are the happy ones now. And I'm sure they are so happy that, well, the office that is supposed to be putting me on trial, the office that is investigating me, is in itself under serious attacks.
After this fufu and pepper soup, I'll go score goals like them, the dash points.
Obstruction of duty. And I'm the chair, my people. As I know, I won't say it is funny. That is his version. I'll come back to the analysis later. You know, specifically, Newton third law, to every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. Martin people say, who so the near or Edmo was in a din at them canny, and no reply. Ana Elton Western Amwa. Ebusa ne say, "Same da akon Martin Pebu so react because so jani bi di natam." Say ne si yankasa. Tie ne yi.
He said that when he got there, the officers, the military personnel, one called him stupid. In fact, another said, "I will show you those things you've been doing." And so it was not a case of he going there and picking a fight with them. It was because of what they had said. And so it cannot be said that he, Martin Pebu, got in there and started misbehaving.
If you ask me, I'll place very little value on what Martin Pebu says, because consistently he has shown that he will not put out accurate information. Let me give you an example. He was on Joy platforms and told Joy that there were 16 petitions to remove the SP. He didn't say that somebody told him. That's why he's saying it. When he was put under cross-examination by KSM on his show, he then said that he heard someone say it on news file. That is why he also said that, and that he was going to add his to make it 17. If you know you're going to add yours to make it 17, why don't you put together your evidence and then you present it, than going around every platform and spewing allegations that you have no evidence to, just to denigrate the SP. So I'm saying, if you ask me a voice account, I won't, because I've seen the variations, and there are a few things that with time we will explain and let Ghanaians know about it.
Sammy,
the soldiers and the police at the OSP are very professional. Do you know how many people come to the office in a day? And yet, you've never heard anybody say that these officers have been rude to them or these officers have misbehaved. The only person that has brought this up is Martin Pebu. I'll give you a second scenario. When he visited officers on the second time in our office, he came back and told the media that when he went to the office, they asked him how many lawyers he was coming with. And that again was a palpable lie. Some of these things, maybe with time we may have to put out videos and all that, but some of these things are very false, because when you go to any reception, they don't know whether you're a lawyer or you are coming with lawyers. Those at the front desk don't know who is a suspect, who is a witness. They don't know. You are the first face that is going to process you, because they just want to know how many are you. Maybe we are 3, so that they're able to arrange tax for 3, because things are arranged in a security manner and they need to follow that. So when they ask you how many are you, you cannot come out and turn it into that the OSP is trying to restrict you to how many lawyers you can come with, and you create a whole scenario that's not true, because you think that you have access to platform and that you're going to denigrate the SP, and that you are going to ensure that the SP is removed, and that you are going to ensure that nobody have trust in the OSP. And I'm saying that these things, it doesn't hurt the SP, it hurts Ghanaians, because this is an office with men and women of integrity who have been busy working day and night, even as others are trying to derail the progress of the office.
Yeah, but Sammy, the point that you make about not trusting what Martin Pebu says, well, for me, the question is, what happened? Is it? What Martin Pebu says, did that happen? It's not to say, because of the things he has said in the past, everything he says cannot be trusted. Because yesterday, our reporter who was there actually corroborates some of the things that Martin Pebu said here. So
what does the reporter say?
Hold on, Sammy. Because the reporter actually makes the point that when he was interviewing Martin Pebu, and one of the security persons, the officers, came there and said they should leave there, the reporter actually said, "Oh, but why? We're not within the premises." And Martin Pebu was actually the person who told them that they should move away. If they say leave, just go ahead and move away. And this is what Martin Pebu had. Hold on, Sammy.
Okay.
Hold on. And this is what Martin Pebu had said earlier. The reporter comes to corroborate what Martin Pebu has said. I am saying, do you know that these soldiers insulted Martin Kpebu, told him they were going to show him the next time. Because he says that is what led to his response that you are also stupid. And then it continued.
Well, we've had the chance to evaluate the entire scenario. Martin Kpebu was not just placed under arrest because our men told us what happened. There were witnesses there. So your reporter that says that they were told to move away is true. Every journalist who has been at every journalist who has been at the OSP premises, I mean the gates, will know that the office does not permit photography or videoing of the entrance or even the building itself.
Yes. You see, he couldn't deny it. He couldn't confirm it. Yentie second video no yenyina ho. Or say because of Martin Kpebu track record into a kabibi obedi enyini. You see my issue and ebi amne enkofo yi comment ase. Yema say Martin Kpebu nya no krefo a. You don't have also a video. I would like to see the video. You have not confirmed whether there was a reaction from the soldier, an action from the soldier where